If I'm being completely honest, things do not look great for the Pac-12 football conference right now. It looks like it may be on life support after watching UCLA and USC leave for the Big Ten, while Oregon, Washington, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and Arizona State continue to be linked to the Big 12 conference. But we all thought the Big 12 was dead in the water before they saved themselves last summer. While everyone talks about the possible West Coast teams the conference may consider, there's one school that has 2 national championships and a Heisman winner that no one is really talking about. That school is SMU, who has the potential to become a dominant program with the new NIL rules. Just go look at the 80s or watch the 30 for 30 Pony Excess documentary. So why should the Pac-12 consider adding SMU? Stay tuned to find out. Now, I already know there are some people down in the comment section saying this is a move that would be a band-aid over a massive wound requiring stitches. But it actually makes more sense than some may want to admit. The Mustangs may be a hot team to watch if the Big 12 and Pac-12 decide to expand over the next few weeks, months, or even years. When it comes to making a conference move, a Dallas Morning News insider wrote, SMU has had conversations with leaders in the Big 12, the ACC, and the Pac-12 recently. Sources with knowledge of the situation told the Dallas Morning News bigger decisions such as Notre Dame's future and the direction of each of the 3 aforementioned conferences still need to be figured out before SMU can potentially make a move. But there's internal optimism the dust could eventually settle in SMU's favor. You have to feel good about where we're at, an SMU official said. So let's talk about why they would fit the Pac-12 and Big 12. Pac-12 Commissioner George Kliavkoff will have a lot of tough decisions to make on whether the conference tries to hold itself together and become the Mountain West Conference on steroids or move outside their typical footprint. This only happens if Oregon and Washington decide to stay put in the Pac-12 and ride things out rather than jumping to the Big 12 while they wait for the Big 10 conference answer. John Wilner of San Jose Mercury News wrote, if the conference desires a foothold in Texas, the Mustangs stand as the easiest add. Unlike Houston, they were not invited into the Big 12 and remain in the depleted American Athletic Conference. If Kliavkoff wants to sell the presidents and TV partners on something bold, a move into the heart of the Big 12 country is the obvious answer. SMU has watched as 3 of their conference peers in the American Athletic Conference earned invites to the Big 12 in Cincinnati, UCF, and Houston, while they were viewed as a possible snub. SMU's solid academic reputation also bolsters their case for an invite to the Pac-12. Robbie Weinstein from 24/7 Sports writes, after a few down years, SMU emerged as one of the AAC's top programs over the past 3 seasons under head coach Sonny Dykes. The Mustangs broke into the Associated Press top 25 in each of the last 3 campaigns, and they own an aggregated record of 25-10 over that span. Dykes cashed in on the success by leaving for crosstown rival TCU this offseason. SMU hired Miami offense coordinator Rhett Lashley. They are located in the Dallas-Fort Worth market, which is the 5th biggest television market in the country, which means they could increase the pie for the rest of the schools. Wilner writes, the Mustangs have an endowment in excess of $1 billion and are ranked number 68 in the latest U.S. News and World Report rankings of national universities. Higher than every remaining school in the Pac-12 except Stanford, Cal, and Washington. They had a lot of success in the past before receiving the death penalty due to how they recruited in the 80s, but they are a school that most college fans know, whether it was for the death penalty or other factors. But as they say in the media, all press is good press. So why might the Pac-12 not want to consider adding the Mustangs? Well, the Mustangs are not a member of the AAU and are not an R1 research school, and the Pac-12 has been hesitant adding schools with religious affiliations in the past. If they do add SMU, they could also look to Rice in the Houston market as a traveling partner as well. Rice is a member of the AAU and an R1 doctoral research university. The situation is not an amazing one for the Pac-12, and they would be moving out of their footprint, but if you add San Diego State, SMU, UNLV, and either Rice, Fresno State, or Boise State, you are at least holding the conference together. I find it way less likely the Big 12 decides to extend an invite to SMU just because they already have TCU in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Along with that, the Big 12 is looking at poaching teams from the Pac-12 that would expand their footprint. The reason I just mentioned the Big 12 is because of the historical rivalries and their proximity to the rest of the other schools, but in all honesty, I don't see that as an option. If there were truly a possibility, the Big 12 would have added them the first time around during conference realignment. Heartland College Sports talks about how the Big 12 could add the Mustangs as a preventative measure from another Power 5 conference attempt to invade their market like the SEC did with Texas and Oklahoma. What do you think? Should the Pac-12 consider adding SMU? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more college football content, and make sure to check out some of my other realignment videos right here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.